guys, we are honing in on those final details of this thing, and some of the items that I need to do I have to actually build, one of which being the overflow for the radiator. Now, in a stock format, this would just have this hose running all the way back to the bottom of the bike, and behind the engine here you'd have your plastic Honda coolant overflow bottle, and you know, it works fine and stuff, but I just wanted to kind of build my own, keep me from having to have a line over here. So what I'm going to do, take some Schedule 40 aluminum pipe here, and then I have a nice aluminum bung and cap setup from Lowbrow Customs, and this is a vented unit. I'm going to clearance this out, weld that in there, and we'll have a nice, real slim, you know, coolant overflow bottle. We're going to mount that about right there, and then run a couple hoses and stuff, keep it real clean and real simple. So I'm going to fix that, and then, because this is a later model CX5 or CX derived engine, we have our PCV system, our crankcase breathers, mounted on the inspection cover as well as the pulser cover here instead of the cylinder heads. Regardless, what I want to do is build a catch can to separate the oil from the air, instead of just, you know, dumping, you know, dripping oil vapor and oil deposits just straight under the ground. I want to try to separate that into a catch can. So we're going to route a few hoses to another pipe. That's going to sit behind the engine and be, you know, real compact and discreet, and then over time you just drain a little bit of it and be on your merry way. So we're going to do that. There's going to be some fabrication for sure, some welding, and we're going to have a good time. So anyway, stick around. Okay, so I'm starting on the actual coolant overflow bottle here. So what I've done so far is I've taken my carbide bits and opened this end up just a little bit for the bung to fit in. So we have a nice tight fit on this. I've sanded the bung here to get any kind of coating off of it, and then I'm gonna go ahead and clean it really well. And I'm just getting set up here with the weld, just laying down some practice beads and stuff like that. So I will hopefully buzz that in, and then tomorrow I'll go and get some other aluminum, and I can plate in the bottom, and then I'll work on getting some tube as well. So I'll probably wait till I get the tube first, depending on how I want to try to weld it. So anyway, this is one thing I can do for now, and then tomorrow get some plate, maybe even work on a mount or something like that. So yep, gonna work on this, stack some dimes. I'm not the best welder by any means. That's giving me a lot of credit. I am not the worst welder by any means, but I'm trying my hardest, and the only way to get better is by practicing. So I've got a lot of scrap material over there that I practice on, and you know, even like this guy right here, just practicing different types of aluminum, different types of steel, different types of tungsten, different types, just practice. So it's expensive too. Anyway, I'm gonna get it done. Not too bad. Not too bad. Yeah, just the right amount of amps in that, which was the worry. I don't want to go melting it beyond recognition. But yeah, good amperage on that one. Perfect. Man. All right. I'm stacking dimes. Okay. I'm gonna leave that there, let it just heat sink, cool down naturally. Yes. This will look good. So there you have it. We got a nice overflow tank here that I made. I did actually intend to weld some aluminum tube onto this, but it turns out I really couldn't weld the tube being too thin. So ran into some issues yesterday, and this is the solution I came up with, is these brass fittings, which is fine. You know, I'm just being overly picky here. So If I had a little bit more capability on the welder, I could probably get that done, or if I find a different material. So been trying to find some different stuff, but so far this is gonna work. And the operation of this is very simple. So if the radiator, gets hot enough and the coolant expands enough and it actually gets past the cap here, it's just gonna fill. So we're gonna initially fill this thing, probably about right here, a little on the high side. And if it expands enough, it'll force that liquid up, and then it has an outlet right here. So it is a vented cap as well, so it has a little breather hole right there. So there's not going to be any kind of pressure. So if it does get that high, it'll just dump out right here and drip on the ground, which is fine. But we want to try to keep as much in here as possible. So then, if we have a level in here, it balances out. Once it cools, it can draw it back in. So that should work out fine. It's easy to access. It's a nice cap, and I really dig it. So one thing I didn't talk about is these aluminum plates here. So I have one on either side, and these are actually really simple. They're just 1/8 inch plate. There is a slight bend in there, so a little tricky to do, but that just kind of gives it a nice side profile there, a little bit more angle to it. And I'm gonna go ahead and set the tank on it so you can kind of see how the lines play against the tank. But just a cool little detail. Right now they're just brushed aluminum. I don't know if I'm gonna paint them or whatnot, or heck, I could polish them if I wanted, but that might be kind of a large visual piece to polish. So anyway, we'll probably keep it brushed for now until we get this thing painted, and we'll go from there. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this one. And I know I talked about the oil catch can. I want to make a separate video on that because I haven't started on it, and so it's going to take a little bit more engineering to do. So I want to make a separate video that's just tailored to that. So anyway, hope this one was cool. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I will definitely link the cap and just some other materials that I used, so you can pick those up yourself. And yeah, that's it for this one. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.